All right, welcome everybody to the quarterfinal day. We've got all the quarterfinals on today, and we're starting with the two of the biggest quarterfinals because of the scheduling. We just have this strange doubleheader situation, but Sabalenka and Mboko, which there's 3 top 10 clashes today, and this is a rematch of the Australian Open fourth round. So absolute banger matchup. Mboko's looked great. Sabalenka's been great all for the last part of 2 years. And then Zverev Fils, which is an absolute banger matchup as well. Fils has just beat FAA. Zverev is looking very intense. So yeah, huge start to the day. We're watching every quarterfinal onwards. Semis tomorrow for the ladies, and the men's semis on Saturday, and then the finals are both on Sunday. But yeah, big day. Big day. Yeah, it is a shame that all the quarterfinals are on at the same time or on the same day, but it's a big day and we're going to watch most of it. Well, actually, no, we're going to watch all of it. We're just not going to watch doubles. We'll keep an eye on the doubles, though. But how are we doing? Are we ready for the biggest day? We've got these two matches are being played, and then we've got the match with Gibson and Nosgauer, which out of the bunch is probably the most random of the matches. And then we've got also Swiatek taking on Svitolina. That's coming up later. Tonight we've got Draper Medvedev coming up with Raducanu and Pegula. Crazy. And then the last match of the night is actually Alcaraz versus Norrie. And we've also got Tien and Sinner as well coming up after the Sabalenka match. So again, crazy day. It's going to be a big, crazy day. So yeah, so here we go. Let's get it. How are we doing, chat? What are we doing? Happy footy day? Yeah. We play footy tonight. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go to the footy as well today. Also, I didn't realize that, and I need somebody out there to, when the teams get announced, hopefully today or tomorrow, because Billie Jean King Cup is being played, Australia versus Great Britain is being played in Melbourne, so I might go to see it. But I just need to know who's playing. Hopefully, it would be awesome if it was joint. I know Dash is not playing, but joint, Gibson, all the really good players, Tomanovic, right? Versus Raducanu and Bolter, but I don't think Raducanu's playing. I don't think Raducanu will come to Melbourne to play Billie Jean King Cup. I don't know. It just feels like it's a bit after Miami. It feels like it's a little bit of out of the way. But I'll tell you what they need to do. They need to put Billie Jean King Cup after the Australian Open, because if they're going to do tournament like things in Australia, you gotta do it better. You got to schedule it better. Otherwise, people aren't going to come here. But hopefully, if the team announcements are oh, hang on. Thank you. Oh, there we go. Oh, they announced it 3 hours ago. I knew they were going to announce it. Thank you for sending it to me. Appreciate it. Thank you, Hadar, as well. Appreciate it. So, joint Birrell, Gibson, Hunter, Perez versus Cartel, Dart, Burridge, and Stojcevic. So, no Raducanu, no Bolter. Okay. Well, I'm not surprised. I didn't think Raducanu... Look, it was a long shot that Raducanu was going to come back to Australia before next January. Still might go, though. Joint's playing. Birrell... tickets are pretty cheap, too. Still might go, though. I still might just get out there. All right. Here we go. By the way, I'm so excited to see what Feast can do. Super excited to see how Feast can play. By the way, chat, last night was Djokovic Draper match of the year, or was a 3-set match of the year, or was it still Fonseca versus Sinner? I feel like Fonseca Sinner was I feel like that was the best quality match of the year by far. Last night's match was good though. Last night's match was good. Fonseca Sinner. Sinner was the best. Cam, you're crazy. Yeah, today's going to be crazy. Match of the year. Best third set of the year. I would say Draper Djokovic. Okay. Yeah, it's tough because you've got one that's like really high quality, right? From start to finish. And then you got the other one that was, it's almost like 2024, like the Olympic final. I know it had the gold medal on the line, but that was a straight set 7-6, 7-6, right? That was the 3-set match of the year in 24, right? Whereas there were other matches that were 3-setters, but because maybe it's because that one was like, going for gold, and there was a lot of historic significance. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like once we get to Miami, we can try and remember. We go, okay, what was match of the tournament? And I reckon Fonseca Sinner is going to stand out more. I think Fonseca Sinner is going to. I don't know if we'll remember as much. Because remember, we've had some really crazy matches this week that we forgot about already. What about Vakina and Tien? That was epic. Match point saving effort by Tien. We already forgot about that one, right? That was 2 days ago. I don't know. I feel like Fonseca Sinner was more memorable. Just because of like the expectations kind of we have on Fonseca. We're like, oh, can he be the next person in the Sincaraz? Could he be a disruptor? I don't know. Maybe we need to have a vote after the tournament. What was match of the tournament? Maybe we haven't seen it yet. Maybe it is the Sincaraz final. It's hard to beat the French Open last year. Okay, well, yeah, French Open last year was great. Why are we talking about last year? What's going on? Sinner-Menchik was really good match. Oh, that's true. I'm dismissing every other tournament. Yeah, that's right. You're right, though. Sinner-Menchik was very good this year, too. That's true. 8 matches and then footy. Yeah, I know. It's going to be a big day. Big day. I'm excited. I haven't gone to the footy for over a year, so I'm excited. Hopefully Essendon win. We're reversing the mortal enemy, so if we can beat Hawthorn, that'd be great. Also, it's an Essendon home game, so that's fun. All right. So Mboko, Sabalenka, they played the one time. That was in Australia in January, and it was a straight sets win for Sabalenka. But the second set, Mboko really put in some work and was playing well. Probably deserved the second set. Slow start though, 6-1, maybe nervous. A fourth round of a slam for the first time, playing the number one for the first time. So this time around, I'm expecting Mboko to be a lot better earlier. Now that she knows how Sabalenka plays, or at least she's felt the power of Sabalenka from the other side of the court. Zverev and Feast, they played 6 times. It's 4-2 Zverev. And they have had a little bit of spicy matches. They played a spicy match in Hamburg where there was a little bit of a thing going on in the match. But then afterwards, they seem to be okay. They played 3 times since, so maybe that's like simmered down a little bit. But I don't know. I feel like Feast is the kind of guy that's like, he's not going to... Yeah, he's not scared to ruffle feathers, and I think he'll come out here and start screaming and shouting, and he doesn't care if Zverev doesn't like it or not. It's not his problem. So I'm excited to see this one because Feast has been great in his comeback this season, and the way that he's just the way that he looks, like the way he's walking around the court, he's just strutting around. I'm so pumped to see and I'd love to see Feast versus Sinner at some stage, maybe on the clay courts more than the hard courts, because Sinner on hard courts is very dangerous. But I don't know. I'm really excited to see how Feast does. A healthy Feast seems like a scary Feast. All right, here we go. Mboko, Sabalenka about to start up. We've got Sinner Tien. That's another one I'm interested to see. And I know they played last year and it wasn't close, but yeah, I'm excited to see Sinner Tien. But yeah, let's see what happens next. Zverev and Feast are still just warming up the serves, and then we are ready to go. Can someone tell me why Zverev and Fils had tensions? Didn't see their last match. Well, the last couple of matches, they've been fine. It was just that Hamburg match where things got a little crazy. It was in Hamburg. It was in Germany. Fils got a little bit rowdy. Zverev didn't appreciate it. So it was a bit tense. But after the match, they seemed okay in the ceremony. They were spraying each other with champagne, and they seemed like it was okay afterwards. But yeah, there was a little bit of madness. A little bit of madness going on throughout that match. Anyways, 15-love Sabalenka. I don't know what I said in the preview, but I think I said Sabalenka Fils. There's been a 4-1 winner from Mboko. Beautiful shot. 15-all. Chad, I love that how good Mboko's been since she won Canada, and there was every reason for her to just win Canada and maybe have a bit of a, I wouldn't say a bit of a slump, but like win Canada, one of the biggest trophies in the world, and then kind of coast a little bit and not win another title or anything like that. But she has just gone from strength to strength. Like, she has gotten better and better, and she is in the top 10. She feels like a top 10 player too. Like, she doesn't seem like she's out of place, like she got lucky, right, or anything like that. I love that. Like, she definitely suits her, the top 10. 30-15. She's got the game for it as that goes out by Sabalenka. 30-all. Yeah, and she won a 250 at the end of the year to back that up. She made a final at the start of this year. She made another 1,000 final. I mean, her results over the last 6 months have been phenomenal. And she's got so much upside because she didn't play the slams, or she didn't do well, she didn't do second week of slams in the first half of the year. So Wimbledon, French Open. I'm not sure what her clay tennis is like, but we'll find that out soon. As that goes in net by Mboko, and it's 40-30 Sabalenka. All right, Fils to serve. Here we go. Fils to serve. As we had a fault from Sabalenka, second serve. Zverev ready to go. By the way, Zverev has been very under the radar, it feels like, this week. Feels like he's been very, very under the radar. Second serve, Sabalenka. Into the backhand of Mboko. That was a big kick out wide. And Mboko gets it backhand rally, and Mboko hits it wide, and 1-love Sabalenka. I watched her in RG qualies last year on court 8 or something. Crazy how far she's come. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's one of the best, one of the biggest or quickest rises to the top 10 in recent times. And there was a massive opportunity. She could have won 2 1,000 events. There was a definite chance to win that second one. She had a match against Coco at Rome too. Did she? I know she lost a couple of close, she played a couple of top 10 players. Sabalenka holds 1-love. Yeah, she did play a couple of top 10 players early, like in the second and third rounds of the slams. Yeah, she's been phenomenal. And that Andreeva and Mboko matchup is going to be so much fun because they're the same age, right? Same generation. They're in that same sort of, junior class, if you want to call it that. As we're backing up the line from Sabalenka. Cross forehand is good by Mboko, and then Sabalenka hits the forehand long. And it's 15-love. Love. Arthur needs to settle in. He'll be okay. Yeah, I mean, he had a big win against FAA. First top 10 win of the year and first top 10 win in a while. So can he back it up against a tougher top 10? Like, Zverev is definitely harder to play. Or at least definitely harder to hit through than FAA. FAA stands a little close to the baseline, whereas Zverev stands back and is a bit of a brick wall. Is 15-30 here. Zverev with a chance to get the break point already as we're back in a backhand rally. Zverev again to the backhand Fils. Into the backhand Zverev. Fils with the backhand. Again to the backhand Zverev. Into the Fils backhand. Fils in the net. 15-40. And Zverev's just going to grind it out. We know that. He's just going to grind this match out. 15-40. Zverev with the 2 break points. $15.40. 30-15 here on Mboko. She serves a fault, second serve. By the way, chat, the fact that we've got three top 10 clashes on the women's side is just a testament to how good and how consistent the WTA is. On the men's side, we don't have any top 10 clashes in the quarterfinals, but obviously potentially a top 10 clash in the semis. But even on the men's side, it's not like, I mean, Medvedev and Draper are very close to top 10. You know, they were top 10 recently, a couple of years, last 2 years. You know, Norrie's been top 10. And then Feast and Tien, I think we all think, well, a future top 10, right? So, and then you got Alcaraz, Sinner, Zverev as well. So it feels like Norrie's probably the only one out of place in that list, I think. But then again, Norrie won this tournament before. He's obviously got some big wins over some of these guys. He's been top 10, so it's not like Norrie is random. But yeah, it just feels like most of those players, if not all of those players, make up a very interesting... And also Norrie playing Alcaraz, that matchup in particular makes it very interesting. If it was Norrie versus Sinner, maybe it'd be not as interesting. But because of that match in Paris they played last year, and it was Alcaraz's worst match of the year, and that Norrie-Alcaraz matchup actually makes it really interesting. Like I don't think there's any boring matches. Gibson's the most random player on the women's side, right? All right, advantage Zverev to get the break here. And Mboko holds 1-1. As a return goes a forward to Feast. Forward out from Zverev. Into the forward of Feast. Zverev up the middle. Into the backhand of Feast. Again, the backhand of Zverev. Feast backhand again. Into the Zverev forehand as Feast cross forehand again. They go forehand to forehand. As Zverev goes up the line again to the backhand of Feast. Again to the forehand of Zverev. Up into the backhand of Feast. Goes back into backhand now as Zverev again with the backhand. He's controlling the rally here. Feast is just defending. As Zverev hits it deep again. Backhand to backhand. Man, he's picking on the backhand, Zverev. As Feast again with the backhand in the net. There it is. And Zverev's like, let's go. He is fired up, Sasha. And he is just wearing Feast down. 26-shot rally. Zverev is just like, we're doing this today. This is a marathon today. Get your shoes on. Start running. We're going on a marathon. He's like, we're not hitting flashy winners. We're not doing highlight shots. We're grinding this out. And that's exactly what Sasha wants. And Feast is like, oh, here we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. We're doing this, are we? All right, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, there's not going to be any free points for Feast. All right, 30 love Sabalenka. Looks bad for Feast. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a grind, and Zverev's up for it. Might be a tough day. All right, Sabalenka hits it in the net, 30-15. All right, serve again. Sabalenka. As a return from Mboko goes into the slice of Sabalenka. Drop shot's good. Mboko comes in net with the backhand. Up goes a lob by Sabalenka. As Zverev hits a lovely volley, and Mboko puts away a smash, and it's 30-all. Zverev with a lovely, lovely volley by Zverev. 15 love. Pegula's got the most aces for the tournament. That is wild. That's crazy. I mean, she's so under the radar. If she beats Raducanu and wins this tournament, she's got to be the player of the year. She has to be. Pegula could be number 2 in the world by the end of the week. As Feast puts away the winner, 15-0. Sabalenka in the net, 30-40 on Mboko already with a chance. 30-40. Mboko already with the break point. $30-40 as Sabalenka serves. An ace down the tee. And a big shot from Sabalenka. We get to deuce. Also Feast with a chance to get a break point here. 15-30. All right, we get to deuce. Sabalenka serves again. Into the back of Mboko. Sabalenka forehand cross goes wide. And it's advantage on Mboko. Advantage on Mboko to get the early break. So apparently Wawrinka is not playing Miami either. So I don't think Indian Wells didn't give him a wild card. I think he didn't want a wild card if he's also not playing Miami. So I think we can safely say that Stan is focusing on clay. All right. We get the deuce. Also break points here for Feast. Good serve from Sabalenka. Mboko goes back into the forehand of Sabalenka, into the forehand of Mboko. Sabalenka up the line is wide on the forehand side, and it's advantage on Mboko. Sabalenka's feeling the need to try and hit the ball harder than maybe she feels like right now. Mboko's got another break point. Advantage on Mboko as Zverev goes up the line. That goes in the back of Feast. Feast with break points here. Backhand to backhand rally. As Zverev again with a backhand. Into the backhand of Feast. Zverev. Drop shot. Feast going to get there with a slice. Zverev with a pass. Oh, Feast drops down. Feast is down. He just slipped over. He gives a thumbs up. He just stumbled and fell. He's looking at the ground like, what the hell was that? Who put that there? There's nothing there. 30-40. As Mboko with a break point. Sabalenka forehand inside out. Good shot. Slice from Mboko goes in again. And then Sabalenka with a drop shot winner. All right, deuce. Feast is okay. He just, he went to run backwards to retrieve the ball and he just stumbled. All right, still a break point for Feast to get back on serve. When's the Miami draw? Good question. I think it's on Sunday. I'm guessing it's on Sunday. Or it's on, yeah, it's probably Sunday. I hope, I mean, yeah. I think it's like the women's draws on Sunday, men's draws on Monday, maybe. Miami do it weird like that. Return goes in the net by Feast. Zverev gets the deuce. All right, advantage Sabalenka. Good serve. Been underrated for so long. She did an interview and mentioned why nobody gives her credit for how hard she hits the ball. I said she feels like top 5. Who's that, on Mboko or Pegula? Serve up down the tee is too good by Zverev. Advantage Zverev to consolidate the break. But yeah, big day of tennis today. Big day. Big day. Serving to the back of Mboko. Backhand from Sabalenka goes off the tape and in. Mboko comes into the net. And then Sabalenka slices it in the net. We're back to deuce. Zverev serves. Into the forehand of Feast. Forehand from Zverev to the backhand of Feast. Zverev with the forehand on the stretch. Feast. Backhand cross court. Winner. And he shakes the fist there, Feast. The good thing about Feast as well is that he can play on clay. So we're going to get a lot more of Feast over the next couple of months. And I don't know if clay's his best surface. I think his best results have come on clay. So yeah, I'm excited to see because we've got a little bit of a taste of Feast over the last couple of months and how good he is on hard courts, but he's going to probably be better on clay. And that's going to be really fun to watch. Zverev says an ace advantage. Like Zverev faced Roland Garros. That's a 5-setter, right? With the crowd? Woo. Come on now. All right, so Miami draw is main draw. I think this is the schedule of when it starts. Oh, hang on, no. Monday. It's on Monday. But that's the men's draw. I don't know if I think the women's draw is on at a different time. I think it goes women's draw is on the day before. I don't think they do the draw at the same time. Last year, I don't think they did that. So 1 p.m. is like terrible time for me, right? I think that's on like it. Yeah, 6 a.m. my time. 4 a.m. my time. That's fine. Hey, Zverev holds 2-love. And Sabalenka also holds 2-1. Last year is when I became a Feast fan, and now I'm absolutely love watching him. Yeah. Couldn't save Anole's match, but it looks like it to be, to me, a positive loss, as I prefer he recovers to then reach Alcaraz and then nothing in the tank. Yeah, I mean, he said in the press conference like it was just like 1 point the difference. And it was. You know, at 5-all, Djokovic went for a backhand cross court, tried to really, push Draper in that moment and missed. And that was the difference. And then Draper came out, served and won the set. So, yeah, it was really Djokovic was really close to winning that. Cam, is there any reason why the background on the score of some matches is purple and other times it's black? Just so you can actually see it. If I did it the same color, then it would be really confusing. So just to make it look, you can actually see it. If they're both the same, then it would be confusing. At least I think it's confusing. That's it. That's the only reason. All right. I saw the wild cards as well. No Stan, which is a bit of a shame, but yeah. Feast's favorite surface is clay. Yeah. So I'm excited to see. And by the way, remember in Monte Carlo, that's in Monaco, it's close to France. There's going to be a lot of French people watching that. Obviously, Roland Garros, he's going to have a lot of support there. Madrid and Rome is going to be interesting too. I reckon he could do well in Madrid as well with the faster clay. I reckon Feast might be able to do some damage. 40-love Feast. No more Feast. Yeah, I think Feast is injured, isn't he? As that goes the net from Zverev, and Feast takes the game. 2-1. Thoughts on Draper performance and his comeback so far? Fantastic. He's been great. I think today's going to be a real struggle, but it doesn't really matter because if he loses today, he still beat Djokovic. So, all right, 15-0. Now, I think Feast made the quarterfinals of Monte Carlo last year. He lost to Alcaraz in 3. Musetti made the final. But yeah, Feast made the quarters, I think. It wasn't a pretty match. It wasn't a high quality match, but it was very, very competitive, which was really fun. He had Alcaraz in real big trouble. As Sabalenka goes up the line, it's in the net. And it's 30-15. Let me have a look. What was the... it was 4-6, 7-5, 6-3. He pushed Alcaraz for 2.5 hours. Wasn't pretty, though. It wasn't a pretty match, but he definitely was... He was definitely in that match. Yeah, it was a 7.4 performance rating to a 7.9 for Alcaraz. So Alcaraz not his greatest match. Alcaraz is obviously, when we've seen him, he's been like an 8. His average is an 8.5, so he's playing below his best. But Feast was, there was a lot of errors too. Alcaraz 18 winners, 41 errors, which you don't see. But yeah, it was, even though it wasn't pretty, it was competitive and close, and Alcaraz was scary for Alcaraz for sure. 40-30, nice ace from Mboko. Mboko to level this first set. People are starting to find their chairs. Good serve down the tee. Sabalenka gets it back. Mboko comes in the net. Sabalenka backhand pass. Mboko volley in the net. Too good. And the world number 1. Deuce. Did Feast... Yeah, he made the... I think he made... Yeah, it was a quarterfinal last year. Zverev just deserves so much more respect than he gets. Yeah, I mean... I get why people... I mean, disrespect is not the word, but I get why people don't like give Zverev more credit. Is because I think the expectation is, that he's a slam. He should have a slam. If he had a grand slam, I think Zverev would get so much more praise. But because he has, like, the first thing you think about Zverev, unfortunately, is he hasn't got a grand slam, and he should. But if you take that away, let's say he has a slam, right? Look at the rest of his resume. It's phenomenal. You could say he's probably had a better career than Medvedev. Maybe. If he had a slam. If they both had one slam, Medvedev was number 1, though. Maybe not. No, their resume would win, gold medal. He's got, two ATP Finals trophies. He's won multiple 1000s. It would be pretty close. The number 1 ranking might tip Medvedev over the edge. But, yeah, if he had a slam... A lot people would be talking about Zverev a lot differently. Yeah, and obviously there's off-court stuff that has divided opinion as well. But if we're talking about purely a tennis player perspective, if he gets a slam, the conversation about Zverev's career will be a lot different. Because I think a lot of people will talk about what he's done and then be like, but he hasn't won a slam. Like that, there's always going to be that until he wins one. 3-1, 2-time ATP Finals, champion. He's beaten some of the best players in the world, of all time. He's, blah, blah, blah. But he hasn't won a slam, right? So it's always going to be that until he wins a slam. And then when he wins a slam, then all the praise will be there for his accomplishments. 30 love. But he's had a great career without a slam. He's, again, a lot of people have said over the years, and I agree, best player without a slam. Which is not what you want. You don't want to be that person. You don't want to be the best player without a slam. The whole point of playing tennis is to win a slam, but he's the best player without one of the big trophies. Love 15. By the way, Goran is not there this week. I don't know if they were just working together for a week or what, but Goran is not there with Feast. Love 15. There's Feast with a 4-in cross-court winner. And there's 15. Oh, maybe Goran didn't travel to America this year. As Mboko hits the tape, it goes in 30-15. All right, 30-15. All right, nice hitting from Feast, 30-15. He's trying to keep things close. Draper or Medi, who wins? I think Medvedev wins. Draper, I don't know how much gas Draper has left. And also, there's no shame in him losing to Medi. Medi hasn't even played that much tennis this week. Medvedev's been cruising this week. I think Medvedev wins by physicality. As Feast shanks the ball long as he hits the approach, but no good. 30-0. Man, he really ripped that forehand, but he ripped it off the top of the frame. 40-15, Sabalenka to get back in front. Good serve out wide, and Mboko gets it back. Sabalenka drop shot. Mboko gets it. And then Sabalenka in the net with a forehand. Wasn't a bad idea. This Feast hits a good serve out wide, and it's 40-30. Feast to keep things close. 0. Thank you for the 15 months. Appreciate that. Thanks for sticking around. right, good serve from Feast. He's got a forehand rally. Zverev deep into the forehand of Feast. Now Zverev on the attack, puts it away. Nice forehand from Zverev. Deuce. Sabalenka trying to get the lead again. 40-30. And Feast just puts hands on hips. He's like, what the hell is going on? All right, return. Goes in from Mboko to the forehand of Sabalenka. Mboko into the backhand of Sabalenka. As Mboko forehand again. The backhand of Sabalenka. Into the forehand of Sabalenka. And then Mboko smacks a winner down the line. All right, we get to deuce. Feast comes to net and wins the point. Advantage Feast. Good morning, everyone watching for the Philippines. Hey, what time is it? What time is it in the Philippines? It must be like 2 a.m. Thank you for watching. I say Medi more rested wins. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be, I think it's going to be really tough for Draper to back up that Djokovic. Plus, he literally played Djokovic yesterday. Maybe he had a day between, I would give Draper a better, I would consider picking Draper, but he played Djokovic last night. It was a physical match. It went for 2.5 hours. Not to mention the emotional drain, after winning that match, leaving the court being like, I just beat the greatest player of all time for the first time. Oh my God, I just beat Djokovic. This is amazing. Like, beating Djokovic is a trophy in itself, even though you don't win a trophy for it. You know what I mean? And then Medvedev, who's literally won every match in straight sets, played probably maybe 4 hours on court, who's made the semi-finals the last 3 years. I mean, Medvedev's no joke at Indian Wells, even though he doesn't like it, or he doesn't like the court. Yeah, to back it up against Medvedev is going to be tough. If Draper can do that, that's amazing. That'd be incredible. All right, Sabalenka trying to get the lead back. Mboko's not letting her. Forehand to forehand rally by Feast here as Feast tries to get on the board again. Backhand to backhand rally. Zverev again to the slice of Feast. Into the backhand of Zverev up the line to the forehand of Feast. Zverev forehand up the line to the backhand of Feast. Cross into the backhand of Zverev as they go backhand to backhand. Feast goes up the line. Good shot. Zverev with a slice forehand. There's a lob and Feast runs backwards with a tweener. Zverev with a volley winner. Too good. Lovely play by Sasha. Beautiful rally. And Zverev coming to the net. That's been a bit of a game changer this week. He's been coming to the net a lot more, it feels like, this week. I don't know if statistically that's true, but he definitely seems more attacking. And that volley was perfect. Sabalenka leads 3-2. She eventually holds. But yeah, great work from Sasha. What a shot. All right. 3-2 Sabalenka. This game's gone for 6 minutes here, and Zverev hits it in the net on the return. Feast gets to advantage. Fonzie showing... What? Is just make the crowds in Miami next week crazy. Well, yeah, we know the Miami crowds went crazy last year for him. All right, advantage Feast. As he serves the forehand Zverev, backhand from Feast. Into the backhand Zverev. Feast backhand on the stretch. As Zverev drop shot. Oh, it's good. Very good. Zverev. Drop shots and volleys. Zverev is improving. He is improving. What's my opinion on the empty court situation? Yeah. Do a giveaway at 300k. You're gonna do a giveaway when we get to 300k? Oh, that's so... What a nice... What are you going to give away? Do I get to choose? Can you... I don't know. One of those big novelty checks. $10,000? Are you going to give away... That's... Jeez, that's... Thank you so much. That's so generous. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Advantage Zverev, by the way. 3-1. He's already got a break. His fee serves an ace and his deuce. And Zverev's like, that was a let. That was a let. And Zverev's like, let? No? Umpire Mahmoud like, no? Yeah. I don't think the center court ticket sales have been low. I think center court's been pretty full, right? I don't think there's been too many. It's mainly court 1 and court 2. Stadium 1's been pretty okay. I don't think Stadium 1's had the... Unless, I mean, maybe it has, but it feels like Stadium 1's been pretty good. Like, it doesn't seem like it's been that empty. Stadium 2's been the conversation. But that's because they changed the way they do tickets. Advantage Zverev to get that double break. And the outside courts have been packed. Like, there's definitely no shortage of fans on the outside courts. It's just Stadium 2's lacking interest. Double fault feast. Zverev got a double break. 4-1. As Mboko goes down 15-30. Oh, Feast's racket's gone! Jeez, Feast took that racket and annihilated it. Hey, chat, if you're going to get a code violation, make it count. Don't get a silly one. Just absolutely obliterate your racket because it's only count. If you throw your racket into the ground 10 times, as long as it's just the one racket, you'll get one code violation. So make it count. And he made it count. Feast made that count. He's like, you know what? This racket is never coming back. No one will ever be able to... You won't even recognize what this racket looks like at the end of it. You'll be like, what was that? Apparently it was a tennis racket. Yeah, he annihilates the racket, and he gets a warning for it. And he just goes, one for good measure. Bang! That's it. Look, I appreciate a good racket smash. I don't encourage it, but I appreciate it. All right, 30-40. Sabalenka looking for the break. There's a bit of backhand slice from Sabalenka into the backhand of Mboko. Sabalenka passing shot. Mboko volley. It's too good. Back to deuce. Code violation, racket abuse. Yep. That definitely was that. There's no denying that. There's no getting out of that one. That was as clear as day. That was... Yep. Muhammad Liani's in the chair, so you know he's going to be like... He's going to be on it. All right, back. We'll get to deuce here. We've got a backhand wide by Mboko, and it's advantage Sabalenka. So yeah, so Stadium 2... Stadium 2, it's looking empty. They need to change the... They need to go back to the... They need to go back to the ground pass gets the top tier, because... Yeah. But I've been seeing this in other sports as well. Like maybe like in UFC, for example. I think like fan experiences, as that goes out by Sabalenka deuce, like the fan has not the focus anymore. Maybe fan experiences within Indian Wells, but when it comes to like going to matches or being there in person or even watching on TV at times, actually no, the TV coverage has been pretty good. It's obviously there's hard to find tennis on free TV, but there are definitely platforms. I mean, there's platforms for to watch tennis on, but I mean, the Australian Open, it was overcrowded, which is not a bad thing to have, but also it's not great. So there's a lot of ticket prices have been a massive conversation over the last couple of years for most tournaments. So what they've done apparently this year is. What years past, it used to be that the top tier of the stadium, you could get in with a ground pass on Stadium 2. So you could get a ground pass and you would be able to go up the top tier. That used to be the same at John Cain Arena in Melbourne. It used to be Margaret Court tickets, Rod Laver tickets, and then the top level of John Cain Arena, you could get in with a ground pass. I got in with a ground pass when I went like 4 years ago or whatever, when we did one of those streams. But now they're all just reserved seats. You can't get in with a ground pass. And that's what they've done here. So Stadium 2 is its own ticket now. You can't get in with a ground pass. And you have to buy, upgrade your ticket, get a more expensive ticket. So that's why it's empty, because people are adjusting to that, or people are not buying the Stadium 2 ticket because they're like, why? I don't want to pay more. I'll just go and watch Court 3. I'll watch some doubles outside. And it's painfully obvious that Indian Wells is looking empty. Whereas, the years past, we never had this conversation about Stadium 2 being empty. Medvedev played in front of an empty stadium the other night. I think Keys played in front of an empty stadium, and that's crazy because she's American. It was a night match, so how does that happen? Today, there's no one there. There's not many people there. At least it's not a full stadium for a quarterfinal. So definitely. And I mean, look, I don't want to get into. We're not going to talk too much about what's going on outside of our bubble, but definitely doesn't help that there's, people are, there's other things that people need to buy. Tennis tickets are a luxury, right? Entertainment is a luxury. Buying tickets to go to a sporting event is not everyone's priority, right? Food, fuel, rent, that's the priority. So you got to think that to justify paying a full price ticket for Stadium 2, it's maybe not worth it to people. Stadium 1, like Centre Court, people are paying for that. I mean, we're getting packed houses, but Stadium 2, maybe people are just like, I don't see the value in that, and I don't really want to spend that money. I'd get a ground pass, or I'll go to Centre Court, and that's kind of like this weird. And also remember the locals who go every year are probably thinking, last year I could get in there. Now I have to pay more. Nah, I'm going to go watch doubles, or I'm going to go watch Court 3. Court 3 has been packed. We've watched Court 3 a few times this week, and no empty seats there. All right, that goes in the net by Feast, 30-15. So we'll see what happens next year. But it's been it has been a conversation about why is Court Stadium 2 so empty? And I think those reasons, or at least that's what I can come up with. Feast is a backhand winner. 5-1 Zverev, by the way. And it's 40-15. As Mboko hits a winner down the line, 40-30. Sabalenka trying to get the lead again. I think people with a lower income should be encouraged to attend tennis matches. Well, that's why when the qualifying was free and the ground passes were cheap, everyone could go. Everyone could go. But unfortunately, that's not the case anymore. As with a slice from Sabalenka, good drop shot. Mboko gets with a slice backhand, and then Sabalenka forehand cross-court winner. Beautiful rally by Sabalenka. She takes the lead again, 4-3. 4-3. All right, 4-3. Yeah, it is a shame that ticket pricing has kind of squeezed out, lower income earners a little bit. The focus is on the experience of not just going to a tennis match, but the experience of the tournament. The tournaments are coming bigger than the matches, right? Okay, you might see Alcaraz if you're lucky, but also you went to Indian Wells. That's the at least for the Australian Open, it's the Australian Open is not about tennis. It's about everything that goes in. The Australian Open's an event. It's not a tennis tournament anymore, which is why so many people go. People don't go for the tennis. They go. Well, they do go for the tennis if they want to watch tennis, but a lot of people go to the other things, and then tennis is on, right? It's a festival with tennis going on in the background, and it's great for Australia. It's great for Melbourne. I think it's one of the it might be the most Like, it's really good for the state, right? Like, it brings in so much tourism. It brings in so much revenue for the state, right? It's great. I don't see any of it. But no, I live in Melbourne. Where's I don't get any of it. I don't know where it goes. I mean, there's still potholes down the road. I don't know. I actually don't know where. Does it go back into the tournament? I don't know. But yeah, it is. Yeah, I feel like these events are starting to become more like they're less about the tennis matches, and they become more about trying to make it an event for anybody for it. But the hard thing with Indian Wells is that it's not near a major city. So like trying to make Indian Wells Australian Open's right in the middle of town, like it's right in the middle of the city. Indian Wells is not near LA. You got to travel like 3 hours to get there. Anyways. 5-2 Zverev serving for the first set. I still want to go to Indian Wells. That's definitely on my list of things to do. And it is still the biggest tournament outside the slams, in my opinion. It's still the best event. And maybe next year they'll go back to the ground pass. Let the ground pass in to court 2. Yeah, I know Palm Springs is a big tourist destination, but from what I was doing some research, it's like there's not much around. Like somebody said that it's like a retirement town. Like people that live there, they're going there to get out of the major cities, that to go out and retire. Like it's not a major city like New York or LA or Miami. It's not the same as that. So it's not. And like I said, I was like, oh, how am I going to get to Indian Wells if I ever go? It's not even like you have to drive like 2 hours to get there. It's not near LA. All right, 30-all here is on Mboko in the net, 30-40. ACB finals, yeah, ACB finals are massive too. But I think Indian Wells, with being at like 2 weeks, so many players, combined event, I think the Indian Wells is the biggest tournament outside the slams. ATP finals is only men's, and it's only 8 players, including doubles. As Mboko survives with a good serve, deuce. And Zverev's got 2 set points here, 40-15. Two set points for Zverev. Zverev serves into the back of the face. Return goes in the back of Zverev. Zverev in the nets. And it's 40-30. Set point number 2. Serving to the backhand of Feast. Return goes into the backhand of Zverev. It's Feast with a forehand. Inside in. He missed. No, he hits it in. Hit the line. All right, deuce. Nice work from Feast. I live there. Palm Springs is in a valley. Not easy to access. Super small airport. Okay. Very wealthy retirement area. Okay. Palm Springs is Cougar City. Huge retirement home. But has a decent nightlife. Okay. So it's like, you're talking about like the animals, like cougar, like it's like dangerous, like got dangerous animals there. As we get because I know like LA have like coyotes, right? Or something. All right, advantage Zverev. Good serve. Big ace out wide. Also, you got to remember that like right now it's what? Midday on a Thursday. So you got to remember that as well. Like, it's not really the like prime time tennis time, right? So tonight, when we watch Medvedev Draper, if Stadium 2 is empty, then that's a problem. Because that'll be after work hours, even though if it's a retirement town. Still, you think that people after work going to the tennis, but we'll wait and see that tonight. All right, return goes into the backhand of Zverev. Drop shot's good. Feast comes into the net with a drop shot, but it's in the net, and he wins the first set, Sasha. 6-2. 6-2 Zverev. Very good set from him. Not the best from Feast. He definitely could improve. 9.1 performance rating for Zverev, a 7.6 for Feast. Zverev 8s across the board and a 9.3 on the backhand. Feast's backhand's been all right, but that's because Zverev keeps making him hit backhands, right? He keeps hitting the backhand. As that goes over the net, off the tape from Sabalenka, 15-love. Zverev with the 13 winners, 7 errors, and a pretty good spread of winners too. He hit 4 service winners, 4 forehands, 2 backhands, 2 volleys, and a return winner. So very even spread of Zverev's winners. 7 forehand winners for Feast out of 13 winners total, and 13 errors, but 6 of those forehands. So the forehand for Feast has been a little bit erratic. But Zverev with a 9.1. Zverev's average is an 8.4, so for his performance rating. And Sabalenka gets to 30-love. Something that Zverev did really well in that first set was the backhand cross court. That was the shot. He was going backhand cross court. We saw that in the first couple of games. He was just wearing Feast down. 11 out of 16 points won when he was going cross backhands, just winning those exchanges. And Feast was doing all right when he went backhand up the line. So when he, they're going back into backhand, and then when he had a shorter ball, Feast was trying to go down the line, but Zverev was hitting it too deep for him to do that most of the time. So it's not easy to hit a backhand down the line when the ball is right in the corner. At that point, you're just trying to defend. And backhand cross court for Feast was a problem. He only won 2 out of the 13 points going cross backhands, which is very, again, that's where this match has been. Feels like it's being won by Zverev, is with the cross-court backhand exchanges. Feast is struggling in those situations, and Zverev, his backhand is his favorite shot, right? All right, love 15. And 40-15 Sabalenka to get back the lead. As Mboko return winner down the line. That's a great shot. 40-30. Beautiful forehand return winner. All right, 40-15. That's right, 40-30. Almost Feast forehand cross court just missed. Love 30. And Sabalenka serves the fault, second serve. As the return goes in from Mboko. Smash from the baseline. Sabalenka straight to Mboko's forehand. Sabalenka forehand crosses. Mboko gets on the stretch. Sabalenka forehand down the line now as Mboko gets that back. Sabalenka on the attack. Mboko with a passing shot goes long. It's 5-4 Sabalenka. She stays in front. All right. Sabalenka stays in front. 5-4. Also 30 all Feast as he tries to stay tries to get in front. First game of the second. Good serve out wide. Zverev returns into the corner. Feast in the net, though. 30-40. 30-40, by the way, Chad. If you haven't checked out yesterday, we had arguably rally of the year happen with Djokovic and Draper, and yours truly made a video about it. Go check it out. Rate the rally on the. Make sure you comment on it. As Feast survives, Deuce, good serving. Make sure you don't give me a rating. I don't need feedback. Please. Rate the rally. Is it the best rally of the year? Go comment on that whatever, that Instagram reel. All right. Zverev with another break point advantage. Also, we're on TikTok as well, so if you want to check it out on TikTok, go check it out there too. Go follow us. All right, 5-4 as Mboko wins the first point, and it's 15-love. And Feast with another good serve gets back to deuce. Very important game here for Feast to try and start off strong. First there's a fault as the return goes in from Zverev. Now to the forehand of Feast. Zverev shanks it wide, and it's advantage Feast. So after this chat, we've got a match between Gibson and, well, after the Zverev match, we've got Gibson versus Noskova. And then we've got, also on center court, we've got Sinner versus Tien coming up next. All right, Feast holds. 1-love second set. All right, and Mboko holds. It's 5-5. 5-all. By the way, Zverev's shot placement in the first set, you guessed it, 67% of the time he was going into the backhand side of Feast. Chat. Stats don't lie. Zverev is picking on the backhand. He's picking on Feast's backhand. And so far, it's been working. Am I excited for your Bombers to play tonight? Yeah, I'm a little nervous because we're playing against a very tricky team. And we are missing some players because they either left or they're injured. But I am excited. I haven't been to an Essendon home game at the MCG for years. So it should be like 80,000 people there too. It's going to be huge. How many people were at the footy last night? Because last night was a big match too. Because Essendon and Hawthorn, or the Bombers versus the Hawks, are it's like one of the biggest rivalries in the sport. Fun fact, my uncle actually was part of that rivalry in the 80s. He played for Essendon when we beat Hawthorn in the premierships back in the 80s. So I have a personal connection to this rivalry. Also, I went to an Essendon Hawthorn game with my friend who's a Hawthorn supporter. We love him anyway. It's okay. Nobody's perfect, but we went to the game, and it was one of the most famous Essendon Hawthorn games of all time because after half time, Essendon were down. We had to win that match to get to the finals. And at halftime, we were down, and our captain brutally annihilated and knocked out one of their best players with a bump, and all hell broke loose. And that was the game changer. We won the match. He got suspended and didn't play the finals. And we lost the final badly, like by 100 points. But still, one of the big moments. I remember it was crazy. People were so angry in the stadium. It was crazy. All right, 30-all here. Feast. But yeah, I'm excited to go footy. Can't wait. All right, 30-all. As Feast returns into the front of Zverev, up the line to the back of Feast, back in for Zverev. Again to the back of Feast. Zverev goes with his forehand, but it's in the net. Feast got break point 30-40 here. So Sabalenka goes 6-5 up. Yeah, Essendon Hawthorn is kind of like, I guess it's kind of like, Arsenal Tottenham. Like, it's got that kind of like tension. It's like Lakers and maybe not Lakers Celtics, but it's kind of like maybe like Chicago New York or Chicago Detroit maybe. Probably more like Chicago Detroit. It's not like the biggest rivalry in the sport, but it's definitely one of them. Like, it's definitely one of those, like, it's been a rivalry. We don't like each other. Bears Packers, yeah, maybe a little bit like that. Yeah, it's not like the biggest rivalry. It's not like the top rivalry in the sport, but it's definitely a big rivalry with a lot of history. Feast can't break, by the way. We get to Deuce. Zverev backhand into the front of Feast. To the front of Zverev. Feast getting a lot more forehands early in this second set as we get a forehand exchange. But then Feast hits it out. Man, he can't be missing that forehand. Who do you support in the Premier League? Arsenal. Up the Arsenal. What do we think of Tottenham? They're shit. What do we think of shit? Tottenham. I heard that. I've been watching like football chants, and I heard that one. I was like, "That's funny." I found that very funny. Backhand in the net by Feast 1-all. Mboko gets a 40 love to take us to a tiebreak first set. What was the other one I heard? I heard this really funny one. Oh, I can't remember. As Mboko serves an ace. It was something like, it's only 4-0, it's only 4-0. How shit must you be? It's only 4-0. And I'm like, that's a great way to like when you're losing 4-0, you're getting your ass kicked, and then to like taunt the other team, that's hilarious. Like, it should be 10-0, right? But you're like, how shit must you be? It's only 4-0. I'm like, that is so good. Like, that's a great one. I like that. I need to go back to England. That's a great way to be like, look, even though we're getting our ass kicked, you should be beating us worse. You're the worst team. How shit must you be? All right, who's winning this tiebreak? There's been a backhand return from Mboko. That goes long. It's 1-love Sabalenka. Pardon me. All right, Feast is up 30-love, by the way. 1 hour played. I tell you, Sabalenka and Mboko, they played a tiebreak in Melbourne as well. Second set tiebreak. Yeah, we lose every week. That's a good one too. Serving to the forehand is a fault. Second serve. Yeah, we lose every week. We lose every week. You're nothing special. We lose every week. I love that one too. That's so good too. That's such a diss. I love it. As the return goes to the forward of Mboko. Backhand now from Sabalenka to the back of Mboko. Mboko on the net. 2-love Sabalenka with a mini break. Another one that I heard was, and this happens in in our sports as well. When like your team's getting killed, you just leave early. Like, you know, if you're down by like 30 points and you're not going to win, you leave, right? People leave early. As the return goes short into the forehand from Mboko. Mboko on the net, 3-love Sabalenka with a double mini break. And then they were all chanting, "Is there a fire drill?" And I'm like, I just thought that was the funniest shit ever. I'm like, they're all like, people are all leaving because like their team's down like 4-0. And they're like, fuck this, I'm not staying around. And they're all taunting them as they walk off. Is there a fire drill? I'm like, yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. All right, 3-love Sabalenka, lock in. Sabalenka's got the double mini breaks. Zverev, he's trying to get the break, but Feast is hanging on. 40-30 for Feast, but Sabalenka starts strong and she serves a fault. By the way, she is serving in the sun, Sabalenka, so might miss some serves here. As the return goes in the backhand of Sabalenka. Backhand from Mboko. To the forehand of Sabalenka. Forehand from Mboko in the net. It's 4-love Sabalenka. All right, 4-love Sabalenka. And Feast gets to advantage. He wants to stay in front. Let's pretend we scored a goal. Yeah, that's funny too. 4-love. Served down to the backhand of Mboko. Mboko to now 5-love Sabalenka in the tiebreak. 5-love. 5-0. All right, back to Mboko. As Zverev hits a backhand winner. He goes back to deuce. As the return goes in from Sabalenka, 6-0. They change ends. Wow. Man, Sabalenka was just waiting for the tiebreak. Now she's flexing. 6-0. Great shot from Sabalenka. She got 6 set points. Zverev gets back to deuce. Good serve down the tee from Feast. Zverev gets it back. Feast forehand down the middle. Zverev with a slice forehand. Feast forehand goes down the line. Zverev with a pass. Feast with a volley. Too good. Advantage Feast. And Zverev thinks it's wide. Look at the umpire. The umpire's like, well, Hawkeye said so. No stress for Sabalenka. Yeah, she is dominating. All right. 6-love. Sabalenka returned the forehand of Mboko. Mboko on the net. What? Wow. Sabalenka bagels the tiebreak. And she takes the first set. 7-0 in the breaker. Let's Feast with a forehand inside in. Zverev gets it back. Feast forehand again. Into the forehand of Zverev, who hits it in the net. Feast takes the lead. He hangs on to the lead. 2-1 in the second. Zverev on the first. 6-2. All right. Wow. What a tiebreak by Sabalenka. 16 winners from Sabalenka. 13 errors. 4 break points, but no breaks of serve. She didn't get to break. 17 winners, 14 errors by Mboko. 3 break points didn't break. 4 double faults from Mboko. But overall, very, very, very close set. No breaks of serve, which is, which I feel like it's becoming more and more common that on the WTA, the serving is getting, overall, is getting, I mean, you can point at the exceptions, but it just feels like we're getting a lot more sets where there's been no breaks or there's been one break. Whereas I know like, 3-4 years ago, it was commonplace to have like break, and then, you know, whoever holds wins the set, right? So it's kind of, it's really interesting that like a lot of the big servers in the top 10 now, they're unbreakable. And we had a bunch of break points, but no breaks, and the tie break was, and Sabalenka was just flexing at that point. All right. It must be the ring. It's the ring of power. It's got some sort of magic. All right. First set in the bag. Very impressive. From the world number 1. I'll tell you though, Mboko, good effort from her. She's put in a very good effort. She's the last 2 sets against Sabalenka. She's played tiebreaks. I mean, she's pushed the world number 1 to 2 tiebreaks in their last 2 sets. So, can't be mad at that. But she also has nothing to show for it. 1 ring to rule them all. All right. Mboko wins the first point of the second, 15 love. Zverev gets the 30 love. Vicky is blinded by the shine of the ring, yeah. All right. As we get an ace from Zverev. 40 love. By the way, Feast is slowly starting to play a little better, but yeah, he is it's very interesting to watch the performance rating. Move, because looking at it here, Feast is gone. He was really good at the start and then he went down. And he's like this. His tracker looks like this, right? Whereas Zverev, he kind of started slow and then he's gone up and he kind of maintained that level for a bit and then he's dropped down a little bit. He's still at 8.9, but it's just interesting to see how like Feast has gone like he was up, he was down, he was up, he was down, he was up. And he has this like wild roller coaster. Whereas Zverev is like, all right, I started about an 8, I'll go up to a 9.5, and then I'll drop down to an 8.3. Like he is very like it just shows how. I mean, and that's what when you'd say, oh, how would you describe these players? You would say that about these guys. Like Zverev is very solid, right? He slow start or whatever. He will maintain a level for a while and then maybe he dips a little bit. Whereas Feast is like he'll play amazing, he'll play terrible, he'll play amazing, and he is a little bit more erratic. So it's really interesting. I love seeing this, seeing that in a graph. Look, chat. Maybe in a future life, I'll be I don't know who deals with graphs and spreadsheets. Accountants? I don't know. I won't be an accountant. I don't know how to use Excel. Sabalenka is engaged now. She sure is. 40-30. Mboko, first game of the second. Still no breaks. As the return goes into the forehand of Mboko. Sabalenka forehand cross court. Mboko gets on the stretch. Sabalenka forehand. Ooh, just missed the angled forehand cross court. But Mboko takes the first game of the second. 1-love. Feast. He's trying to keep hold. He's been struggling on serve. And he hits that in the net. Love 30. He has been struggling on the serve. All right. Sabalenka, by the way, service games won this year. This week? This week. 97% Sabalenka. Service games won this week. And Mboko's third with it, I think it was an 89%. So these two ladies are two of the best servers. Noskova's second, by the way. Two of the best servers in the world. Unbreakable this week. All right, 15-30 here. Feast trying to keep the lead. But he hits it back in the net. It's 15-40. Zverev with 2 break points to take the break in the second. Two Brits in the quarterfinals. When did that last happen? I don't think it's ever happened in the history of tennis. Probably Norrie and Murray. I don't know. Anyways, that goes out by Feast. Zverev breaks. See, I didn't say the other thing. I was just like, I'm not going to say the other. I just stopped my sentence. I can't talk. I'm from Australia. We don't have consistency either. All right. Face broken. Sabalenka 40 love. I was hoping face would be better. Yeah, I'm a little surprised. He isn't playing. I mean, he's definitely playing. Zverev is playing very well. Zverev is playing at a very high level. His backhand is elite at a 9.4 shot quality this today. 8.6 on the serve. Like, the serving of Zverev has been great. His returns have been great as well. Feast is leading the forehand, but the thing with again, the thing that Zverev is doing so well is picking on Feast's backhand, just going backhand to backhand. Like, that has been such a consistently good like, he's won 67% of the backhand cross court when he's gone cross court backhand. 16 out of 24, right? That's been his best strat. And cross forehands, not as good, but the backhand cross court, that has been the big difference. Just going cross court backhands, and that's where he's just wearing Feast down. Feast is doing well on he's doing better on the backhand up the line. He's won 50% of those points, but again, Zverev is just so consistent. And Feast has only won 3 backhand cross court points. 3 out of 17. So again, that is the difference. When they go backhand to backhand, either Zverev is hitting the backhand, and Feast is getting impatient, right? And he's trying to hit a winner as Zverev comes to the net with 15 love. Zverev is just going backhand, 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 and then all of a sudden Feast is like, I've had enough of this. I'm going to try and hit a winner. And Zverev wears him down that way. Or they're going backhand to backhand, and then Feast tries to run around a backhand and hit a forehand, right? Because he wants to hit forehands because that's his preferred shot, right? So, and like I said, Feast has hit some good backhands up the line. He's won 50% of the points that he's tried to go up the line. But again, it's just Zverev. He's going like, I love my backhand. It's working very well today. And I'm just going to pick on your backhand. And we're going to have a backhand rally. And good luck. As Zverev hits a backhand into the backhand of Feast. Again, the backhand of Zverev. And Zverev in the net with a backhand. I mean, it wasn't my fault. I didn't hit the backhand. By 15:30. Sabalenka looking for the break. As Mboko hits a good forehand cross. Sabalenka with a slice. Mboko picks it up, but Sabalenka's there and she just puts it away on the short ball forehand. She's got break point 15:40. As Zverev gets to 30:15. Zverev trying to consolidate the break. Remember, we've got not Cartel. Thinking of yesterday. We've got Raducanu and Pegula. We've also got Noskova and Gibson. As Mboko comes in with a volley winner. Smart volley from Mboko. She plays a bit of doubles too, so she's not afraid of the net. 30-40. Also, Zverev to consolidate the break. Zverev serves. Into the four to Feast. Feast is down 4-2. Zverev in the second. As Mboko hits a forehand winner and saves both break points. Do you think Tien can trouble Sinner today? I have the same feeling about that matchup as I do with Draper's Medvedev. It would be an upset. I don't expect Tien to. If it's 4-4, okay. With the Draper can probably has a better chance against Medvedev than Tien does against Sinner, but I don't know. I don't expect Draper or Tien to win today. And I think Tien... I mean, Fonseca played phenomenal and lost in straight sets. And I don't know if Tien can play that level. Also, he doesn't have that game. He doesn't play that game, right? He plays more... I mean, Tien is more de Minaur than Alcaraz, right? And we know how de Minaur Sinner goes. So I'm a little bit like, he might get a set, but if Sinner's playing well, he's going to win. All right, and Mboko holds, by the way. Good hold from 1540. She gets 2-1. But we'll wait and see. We're going to find that out in a couple of hours. All right, 4-1 from Zverev on the stretch. Feast just hanging on. As Zverev comes to the net, Feast with the pass. Too good. But I'll tell you what I do love. I love that in the last 2 tournaments we've had Menchik, Fonseca, Tien, all playing Sinner. Like, that is so cool that we've had the 3 guys that we've been talking about the most in the last 12 months. You know, everyone's like, who's better, Menchik, Sinner, Menchik, Tien, or Fonseca, right? Who's going to be the next one, right? Blah, blah, blah. I love that we've seen them, we get to see them all play Sinner over the last couple of weeks. Like, that is so fun. That never happens. Like, the 3 guys that we've been talking about the most as, like, who's going to challenge Alcaraz, we get to see them all play Sinner. So at least we get to see half of that. And obviously Menchik won. Fonseca pushed him. So let's see how Tien does. I just think Tien's got a I wouldn't say a better chance against Alcaraz, but I think, again, Tien being more like de Minaur plays better against Alcaraz. Like, he's been closer to Alcaraz than Sinner. Sinner's so consistent. And then I feel like we saw with Fonseca the other night, the only way you're going to be able to beat Sinner is if you, like, just constantly attack, like with Menchik and what Bublik did last year, and what Alcaraz does, right? I feel like if you're not a super aggressive player with a big booming serve, it's going to be very hard to beat Sinner. You can't grind Sinner out. He doesn't lose that way. So yeah, and we saw with Tien last year. We saw Tien play Sinner already, but hopefully it's a closer match than that. Feast holds, by the way, 4-3. Yeah, Sinner. Yeah, fearless. If you're fearless, well, we see that. I mean, yeah, fearless and unpredictable. Like, if you're going to go for, like, risky shots, which Fonseca, fearless for sure. I mean, Rune's been someone who's troubled Sinner. Even Chapo at the US Open last year, right, was somebody who played fearless for the first, set and a half. Spizzirri, played fearless against Sinner in Melbourne, right, for the first, 2 sets. As Mboko slice goes long, 30 love. Anyways, we'll find out that stuff next. 30 love Sabalenka. Arian.
Hi, come, let's go Zverev and Sabalinka.
Hey, thank you for the $2. Well, so far they're doing well. Sabalenka serves an ace. 40 love. Sabalenka serves again. As a return goes in, Sabalenka puts up a lob, and the short ball, it lands short, and Mboko tries to hit on the attack, on the rise, and completely misses it. 2-0. Now it's Zverev serving with a set and a break. At 15 love as he chips a return feast, but it's long, and it's 30 love. All right, 2-0 and Mboko to serve. No breaks yet. 0 breaks have been acquired. All right, 2-2. Double fault from Mboko, love 15. Love 15. Serve into the backhand is a fault from Mboko. Second serve. Zverev 40 love. Ooh, Sabalenka with a great passing shot winner. It's the love 30. Arian.
Cam, why does Jannik always wear a hat when he plays?
Thank you for the donation. Probably just out of habit. You know, that's just his routine. He's been wearing a hat since when he was a kid, and he just kept wearing a hat. I think that's just same with Runa, right? Same with Draper. I mean, they just wear hats. They're hat guys. Why does Zverev wear a headband? Because he probably has been wearing a headband forever. Why did Rafa wear a headband? Same thing, right? Roger. Why did they wear headbands? Because they've worn headbands their entire career. They're just it's just a part of their, it's just how they are. You know, there's just a habit. It's what they feel most comfortable, right? Cam is a hat guy. I don't think I've worn a hat once on stream. I don't think I've worn a hat once. Maybe I have. Maybe. And it's 5-3 Zverev. I don't think so. I wore a hat early days. I think in the first, when we first streamed. All right, Sabalenka with a break point again, 30-40. And Mboko hits it out. There's the first break of the day. Sabalenka gets it. She finally wears Mboko down. She's up a set to break. The world number one. All right, 3-2. Finally, after an hour and a half, we get the first break of the match. Feast, by the way, is in big trouble. Love 15. Cam rocks the trucker hat when he goes to the thrift. Sometimes. Not always. All right, Zverev with the backhand wide, 15-all. As Feast serves to stay in the match. Yeah, where's that hat? Did that guy send that hat? The PO box is empty, so I don't know. Where's that guy? Did he send that hat? All right, return goes to the corner. Feast. Feast goes up the line, but wide. It's 15-30. A chance for Zverev to finish it off here. 15-30. We got Gibson versus Noskova coming up next. Arian.
My habit is watching you, Cam.
Hey, there's worse habits. Thank you for the $2 and the commitment to watching streams. Backhand rally. As that goes out by Feast, we've got match points for Zverev, and it just hasn't been Feast's day. Zverev has just been too solid. He's just been too good. Zverev's backhand, Old Faithful, has just worn Feast down. Feast had a good week. Got his first top 10 win in his comeback. He made the quarterfinals of Indian Wells, but Zverev, too good. As the return goes to the forehand of Feast. Forehand from Zverev into the backhand of Feast, who hits an inside-out winner. 30-40, one saved. 30-40. Still match point for Zverev. As Feast serves again. A fault. Second serve. Into the backhand of Zverev. Return goes into the backhand of Feast. He hits a drop shot, but Zverev's going to get there. Put a forehand up the line. Feast with a pass. Goes wide. And there it is. Zverev's into the semis. As he shakes hands with the umpire. He hugs it out with Feast. And gives him a bit of a encouraging talk. All right. Zverev is into the semis of Indian Wells, which I think is the first time, right? Or no, second time. Second time, I think. Which is strange, because you would have thought that like Indian Wells would have been somewhere that Zverev would have thrived, because it's a slow hard court. He loves playing on clay. You would think that this would be perfect for him, but I guess over the years it hasn't been great. First semi-final. Wow. Oh, Miami. He made the semis in Miami. Quarterfinals. He lost to Fritz in 2021, and he lost to Alcaraz in 2024. So his first semi-final at Indian Wells. And that actually completes a set. He's made the semi-finals or better at every 1,000 event now. He is the semi-finalist. And also, besides Wimbledon, he's made the semi-finals or better at all the big tournaments. So, yeah, he has now made the semi-finals of every single 1,000 event. That's huge. Semi-final. He's made a final in Miami. He's made semi-finals in Monte Carlo. He's won Madrid, won Rome, won Canada, won Cincinnati, won Paris. Final of Shanghai. So Zverev, semi-final complete. Semi-finals complete. All right. Nice work from Zverev. And yeah, look, Feast had a good week. Definitely climbing back up the rankings, but he had a good win against FAA, but Zverev was just another level. Now, let's talk about some stats before we sign off here and focus on Sabalenka. She's up a set to break. 21 winners, 17 errors from Zverev, 24 winners, and 27 errors from Feast. A lot of forehand errors from Feast. That was not helping. Zverev, of course, serving very well. Zverev was pretty good all round. He finished with a 9.0 performance rating score for the match. Feast with a 7.6. Feast did drop off at the end as well, which was a bit of a shame in his performance rating. But yeah, 8.9 shot quality on the backhand for Zverev, 8.5 on the returns, and 8.7 on the serve. Feast with a 7.7 on the forehand and 8.6 on the backhand. So Zverev, brought the best out of Feast on the backhand side, because Feast was hitting a hell of a lot of backhands, especially early in the match. But still, Zverev's backhand is supreme. Has Zverev got the best backhand, one of the best backhands in the world? He's got it, right? It's got to be up there. Is it better than Sinner and Alcaraz? Maybe not, but it's definitely got to be top 5 backhands, right? It's got to be. But there it is. Sasha into the semis. First Indian Wells semi-final. He's going to play the winner of the next match on center court between Tien and Sinner. So Sinner Zverev is possibly on the card. And they have played... They've played some really good matches, but they've also played some very one-sided matches too. So it's hard to judge whether or not that's going to be good or close. Close, maybe not good. Good's not the word. Close is the word. All right, Mboko, she's down a break here. She's got to do what she hasn't done all day, and that's break Sabalenka. Jump on over. We're going to merge the streams, and then we're going to start up the Noskova Gibson. I broke my rule. We're watching an Aussie. Noskova versus Gibson is coming up next. So, make sure you join us for the rest. And also, we've got Zverev waiting for Tien versus Sinner, and that's coming up after Sabalenka. Sabalenka gets it out, 40 love, sorry. But great win for Zverev. He gets it done in straight sets, 2 and 3. He's into the semifinals for the first time at Indian Wells. Okay. Let's see if Mboko has any can get back here. Serving to the back of Sabalenka. Good return up the line from Mboko. Sabalenka forehand crossed into the form of Mboko. Mboko hits it long. And it's 40-15. Only one break in this match. It's been a server's day. There's a fault from Mboko. Second serve. Second serve Mboko. 1.5 hours played. There's a bit of double fault from Mboko. 40-30. By the way, chat, we're almost at... Hello. We're at 300 likes. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. Like the stream. Also, don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 300k by the end of the year. As we return now into the net by Mboko, and we get the deuce from 40 love. Sabalenka wants that double break. By the way, I just read that it was, whoops. Yeah, there we go. Nothing happened to Sabalenka. Don't worry, that was a typo. Don't worry. That was from yesterday. That was from yesterday. Sorry. Sabalenka's fine. Everything's fine. Sabalenka's fine. Advantage Sabalenka. Don't worry about it. Sabalenka's fine. Nothing wrong with Sabalenka. That was from yesterday. That was from the cartel match. That was just leftovers from yesterday. All right, advantage Sabalenka for 40 love. Or love 40 love down. And Mboko with the backhand into the back of Sabalenka, and Mboko forehand slice. Sabalenka with a forehand cross court goes long, and Mboko gets back to deuce. Down. Mia. Down. All right, deuce. Sabalenka with a set and a break. As the return goes in from Sabalenka, but Mboko with a backhand win across court. Beautiful shot. And it's advantage Mboko to take the game and just keep things close. All right, advantage Mboko. As the return goes in the net by Sabalenka, and Mboko holds. 4-3. 1 second, chat. All right, 4-3. DoorDash at 6 in the morning. All right, here we go. Feast sold that one. No, he didn't. You just put on a bad bet, all right? Don't blame Feast for your bad betting. All right, here we go. It's 4-3. Sabalenka has the break. Pancakes. Pancakes are delicious, but no. I was feeding my dog, so it's breakfast for Mia. All right, here we go. Sabalenka to serve. 4-3 in the second. As with a forehand rally, Sabalenka in the net, love 15. Love 15. Hey, Dr. Phil's in the house. You're cool. Okay. By the way, just having a look here, and man, Zverev was on fire when he was in control of the feast match from start to finish. All right, backhand return, and that goes into the net by Sabalenka. Love 30. All right, love 30. Chance for the break back here, Mboko. Love 30. Dr. Phil plays tennis. I think a lot of people play tennis. All right, return goes into the backhand of Sabalenka. Backhand Mboko. Into the Sabalenka backhand. Mboko slices it in the net. Yeah, Sabalenka was just standing right there, and she's like, you're going to hit it to my backhand. I'm going to make you make an error. All right, 15-30. Can Svitolina win, Cam? Yes. Yes. Sabalenka serves an ace down the tee. And it's 30-0. She can. I don't think she will. Swiatek's been playing pretty well this week. I don't know who's this guy? He must be famous. They put him on the TV. I don't recognize that guy. I don't know. Sabalenka ace again. Oof, that's a flex. That's a flex. David Foster. Why does that sound familiar? Oh, yeah. It is David Foster. I don't know who he is. He's a producer, musician. He's won 16 Grammys. Okay, I know that name. He's a Canadian record producer and composer. Cool. 40-30. Serve to the forehand of Mboko. Mboko puts that away. And we get to deuce. All right, Sabalenka. He's behind a lot of great singers. Oh, fair enough. You should know. I'm sorry. You should know. Deuce. Sabalenka. Oh, she's serving down in the sunny end, by the way. She said the fault, second serve. Not double fault, not yet. All right, so he's collaborated with like a lot of big names. I'm not even going to start reading names because there's too many names. Double fault. Advantage on Mboko to get back the break. Advantage on Mboko to get back on serve. Now Sabalenka with another fault. Second serve. Second serve. As Mboko returns, goes wide. Back to deuce. 1 second, chat. What is it, Papa? What is it? All right, advantage Sabalenka. She double faults again. She looks up at the sun. And it's back to deuce. Back to deuce. Serving in the front of Mboko. Great return winner by Mboko. Advantage Mboko to get back on serve in the second. What a return. Advantage Mboko. Sabalenka serves back at Mboko. Mboko in the net. Sabalenka back to deuce. Great producer and a man behind many famous singers. Like I said, I have heard of him, yes. I didn't recognize his face. As a forehand return goes wide, and it's advantage Sabalenka to take the break. To take the lead. Whatever. To win the game. Win the game. All right, first serve the fault, second serve to keep the lead and the break. That's what I was trying to say. As the return goes back into Sabalenka, and Sabalenka goes back behind on Mboko and keeps the break. 5-3. All right, 5-3. All right, as Mboko serves to stay in the match, and then Sabalenka gets a lovely drop shot winner, love 15. Love 15. As that goes out on the return from Sabalenka, 15-0. And another good serve by Mboko. 30-15. So they've been the one breaker serve, by the way. $30-15. As the return goes a slice of Mboko. Mboko on the net, though. And it's 30-all. Good serve down the tee. Sabalenka gets it back. And then Mboko puts away the forehand winner down the up the line. And it's 40-30. 40-30. Mboko to make Sabalenka serve for the match. Return goes in the front of Mboko. That's a great shot. Cross-court winner from Mboko. And Sabalenka's going to serve for this match. I'll tell you, if it is 6-4 in this second set, the one-breaker serve being the difference and a tie-break is super impressive for Mboko. This definitely has... I don't know if the level's been there the same, but it definitely feels like the Sinner Fonseca match when it's like, okay, he's not... I mean, this is obviously Mboko is closer to Sabalenka in ranking than Fonseca is with Sinner, but it does have that kind of like, okay, the younger generation are not far away from the top dogs right now. Like Fonseca was this close to getting that first set against Sinner. He pushed him to the brink. And Mboko, won after the first match they played in Australia. The last three sets have only been one break that's been the difference so far. So on Mboko's, the gap between her and Sabalenka, at least for talent-wise, is not that far away. She's not far away, from Sabalenka when it comes to a matchup. Ranking-wise, different story. But in terms of competition and competitiveness, definitely can match Sabalenka. And she matched her for about an hour and a half before Sabalenka broke. Let's see if Sabalenka can finish the job, though. If doesn't exist. Okay, but I didn't really... what are you talking about? Okay. Cool. Way better than the Osaka match? Yeah. Mboko's ranked higher than Osaka, so there you go. Winner of this match, by the way, will take on the winner of Gibson and Noskova. So, if Sabalenka can finish it off here, she'll have a very big chance of making another final. Not that Noskova and Gibson are no joke, but Sabalenka favorite, obviously. All right. Sabalenka with a winner up the line, and it's 15-love. We've got, we have that match coming up next. All right, 15-love. Sabalenka forehand, up the line again. 30-love. Going through a whole match, Sabalenka not being broken, and only one break deciding the second set is very, very impressive. 30-love. As Mboko returns into the backhand of Sabalenka, Mboko backhand to the forehand of Sabalenka. But Sabalenka misses the forehand wide. 30-15. And yeah, we've got Sinner versus Tien coming up next. We've got Gibson versus Noskova coming up next. And there's a bit of fault from Sabalenka, second serve. Do you prefer Raducanu or Swiatek in the final against Sabalenka? Pegula. Obviously. Come on now. Pegula. 30-15. No, look. Probably Raducanu, right? Rematch. Australian Open rematch. All right. Double fault from Sabalenka. 30-all. This match is not done yet. It's not over yet. Good serve. Sabalenka gets the match point. Again, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We're almost at 290K. So thank you for that. Here we go. Sabalenka to take her spot in the semis. Again. Serve. Is a fault. Second serve. Second serve is a let. Serve again. Into the backhand of Mboko. Return goes into the backhand of Sabalenka. As Mboko up the line goes in. Slice Sabalenka as Mboko. Backhand. Cross court goes wide. Just missed the backhand. And Sabalenka wins. But that was close. They hug it out of the net. And Mboko is legit. I mean, we all know that. But, man, she's getting better quick. Her improvement from, 12 months ago, she wasn't even close to this level, right? She was outside the top 100, maybe even 200, I can't remember. But the fact that she's 3 or 2 months ago, played Sabalenka, lost the first set 6-1, but competitive second set, and then goes from that to then only being, one break difference between her and Sabalenka on serve. Phenomenal, Very, very competitive and very good from Mboko. But Sabalenka is clutch, and she gets it done. But I'll tell you, the next time they play is going to be very interesting. Sabalenka is definitely got something to worry about with Mboko. All right, great work from Sabalenka though. Great work. She gets it done. She's into the quarters, into the semis again. This time last year, though, she was playing in Rome against Jovic. That's crazy. Crazy for Jovic too. That how far she's risen as well. All right. Oh, pardon me. I was teasing Cam's predictions. I don't know why you would tease my predictions. That's just mean. All right, now we have 2 more matches coming up. Sinner versus Tien. And we have Noskova taking on Gibson. So jump on over here. I'm going to send you over to the Sinner match to kick us off against Tien. And then also we have Swiatek Svitolina as well coming up after the Gibson match. So, yeah. Also, we do have afternoon matches today. We don't have we have one night match, but we have 2 afternoon, evening matches that start at 5 p.m. local time. So that'll be interesting as well. But make sure you jump over and talk amongst yourselves. We will be back in about probably a couple minutes because, by the way, no one is at the stadium. This is why, the fact that Noskova and Gibson have literally no one in the stadium is mad. There are, I'm not even kidding. I could count how many people there are. There's probably about 50 people spread out. Maybe even less. That is crazy. That screenshot right there is what the hell? That's a quarterfinal. What are we doing? Quarterfinal of a 1,000, and that's bad. That's a bad look. Looks bad. Yeah, sad and crazy. Look, maybe people left after the Zverev match because they want to go get lunch, but that's that's brutal. Anyways. That sucks for the players because, it's a big quarterfinal and then it feels like it's a challenger event, At least, challenger event crowd. It's so empty. All right. Maybe it's hot out there. Maybe people don't want to sit in the sun. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's the heat. But Sabalenka wins. 7-6, 6-4. She takes out Mboko. She's into the semis. She's going to play the winner of this Noskova-Gibson match. So make sure you stick around if you want to know who Sabalenka's opponent's going to be. But we also have Sinner versus Tien coming up next.